you have me on talkback? Good evening and welcome to Frisco, Texas, Generation Adidas Cup 2018 in full swing. And today is the final match day for the Champions Division. We're excited to bring you some Group A action between Eintracht Frankfurt and DC United. Should be a really interesting matchup here between the two Eagles, as Eintracht Frankfurt, of course, known for the eagle on their badge, as well as DC United. We'll have to see which Eagle comes out victorious in this one. Still a lot to play for as well. As I mentioned, it is the final match day for the Champions Division this year in 2018. And looking at Group A, still all to play for, still the group to be decided. Of course, whoever finishes top of the group will move on to the semifinals on Thursday. And looking at the group standings, River Plate have won their 2 games, so they're ahead with 6 points, leading the table. Just behind them, Eintracht Frankfurt on 3 points, tied with Toronto FC on points with 3, and DC United, having lost their first 2 games in tight affairs, hoping to get their first points of this year's competition here this evening. So with the way the tiebreakers work out, Eintracht Frankfurt still could go through. They need Toronto to pull out a result. But should that happen and Eintracht wins here, they could possibly go through on goal differential. So still so much to play here as the teams make their way out with the referees. Head referee Michael Radchuk, joined by Lise Arfa and Joe Zabatowski on the sidelines. And the 4th official for this evening's matchup will be Fabrizio Stetzola. Go ahead and go through the starting lineups as you see them lining up on the field. We'll start with DC United. In goal, Dane Jackaman getting his 3rd consecutive start for DC United between the sticks. From left to right, Michael Gaines, Maddox Reese, Justice Akinlosotu, and Jack Elmer Villatoro on the back line. Nelson Martinez coming back into the side as a holding midfielder. And then across the midfield from left to right, Griffin Yao, Brian Kao, Moses Nyman, and Brennan Conger. And up top, Gabriel Segal round out the starting 11 for DC United. Meanwhile, for Eintracht Frankfurt, in goal, Max Hinke. From left to right across the back line, Hayusin Bakirsu, Fritz Oostreicher, Omarui Irorere, and Yanis Vasilov. In midfield, Luca Leonard Uth, Ali Luna, Leandro Weingartner, and up top, Joshua Fruhls and Florian Zorn will flank Yunus Hida and Eintracht Frankfurt's 4-3-3 attack. Both sides making 6 changes to their starting lineup from their last games, and that's possibly because they played just yesterday. It's a nice day here in Dallas today. A little bit windy, but just around 80 degrees right about now as we are ready to kick off. Definitely the best day of weather at the tournament so far, but impending weather coming in tomorrow forced a bit of a schedule change around. And what that means is these teams, having played yesterday, have to turn around and play just over 24 hours later. So a big ask for some of these young men. But both coaches have elected to switch up some of the lineups as well. And who knows, that could have been in the game plan all along. DC United actually played a much changed side in their 2nd game. Yesterday a 2-0 loss to Toronto, so many of these kids getting valuable experience at this year's tournament. So DC United will be in their familiar white strip with red sleeves and the black gradient down the middle. Meanwhile, Eintracht Frankfurt will have the all-black kit with red trim as they break the huddle. We're just about ready to get underway here in Frisco. The last day of action in Group A of the Champions Division. The ref blows his whistle, and DC United gets us started. They'll be going from left to right against the wind to start out in this first half. As I mentioned, this DC United team have lost both of their games so far in this tournament. Still looking for their first goal as well. There's a lot to play here for DC. They've played both games extremely tight, losing the first game just by a score of 1-0 to River Plate. Of course, River being three-time defending champions at this competition and in pole position now in the group. So it was a tight one for DC United in their first matchup. And then, as I mentioned, they lost just yesterday 2-0 to Toronto FC. Here's Eintracht Frankfurt stealing the ball away for their first go at possession in the game. And a nice interception by Vasilov has Frankfurt looking forward once more. It'll be interesting to see throughout this evening what these midfield trios will do against one another. It does look like 3 versus 3 in midfield, which will make it a little bit crowded, but battle for possession that should be intriguing to watch. Here's a ball pumped forward and some trouble in his own area for Michael Gaines. He does well to get it over towards the sideline. Now dogged defensive work from Eintracht Frankfurt, but a good tackle in midfield, and DC United can sprint past the halfway line. It's a high line from Frankfurt, so plenty of room in behind to start the game. Some quick feet there from Brennan Conger, but a little too quick for his own good. He had beaten back here, Sue, but couldn't stay in play. So it's a throw for Eintracht Frankfurt. There's good work from Nelson Martinez, back in the starting lineup after starting the first game against River Plate, but not featuring in yesterday's game against Toronto. The number 10 for DC United led that game against River Plate, led all players in passing. It was a decent first game of the tournament for Martinez. So he'll be looking to anchor that midfield and shield the back line from his holding midfield position. And there he is drawing a foul. Good work from Nelson Martinez there, and you could tell it's a sore one for him to wear as well. So we're in the opening stages here, still both teams finding each other out. And as I mentioned, still possibility for Eintracht Frankfurt to go through in this group. They would need a Toronto FC win against River Plate, and that game being streamed by MLS at the moment as well. Going simultaneously on the field just to my right. Just one field over from this one. So should Toronto FC win that game, Eintracht still with a chance to advance to the semifinals. There's a through ball that was intercepted, but again, well controlled by DC United. Moses Nyman able to get around a double team. Really well done there by Nyman. And now he sprayed an excellent pass out to the right-hand side. First time cross from the right back. Good touch in the area, still alive. And a second hit is blocked away as well. DC United with plenty of men outside the box. A sliding tackle and a loose back pass. Just about allowed Gabriel Segal in behind the back line. It was a last-second challenge from Oostreicher that took the ball off the toe of Gabriel Segal. That was a Really well-worked attack by DC United, and now they have some defending to do as it's a 1-2 exchange along the near sideline, but offside on the return pass. Good early signs from DC United. Still searching for that first goal, but several shots blocked on the outside of the box, and you have to credit Moses Nyman there with creating that attack for DC United, and he's one of the youngest players at this year's tournament. He's a 2003 age range. Of course, this tournament is for 2001 players. Most teams bring in at least a handful of 02 birth years, but rare to see a 2003, and Moses Nyman one of them. Look at that ball, just perfect accuracy. And again, the right back, Villatoro, with some space to run into, and he's kept possession well. Couldn't find space for a cross, but now he's on the ball again. Villatoro exchanging passes nicely with Martinez. And Villatoro does really well to drop it back now with Maddox Reese. Reese looking up top for Segal. Gabriel Segal takes it down, plucks it out of the sky. Just as he's dribbling through, it's poked away back to Max Hinka. A quick restart. Cool under pressure there, Oostreicher. He finds Bakirsu. Can't quite stick up top for Eunice Hilda, but he's done well now to run in behind Hilda, looking for that pass in behind the defense. Maddox Reese coming over and helping out his center half partner there. Good covering from the left center back for DC United. Oostreicher, you can tell he likes the ball at his feet, the left center back for Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt electing to sit their top performer so far, David Seibert, the number 7 for Frankfurt, having 2 goals and 1 assist. Started both of their first 2 games. They'll find a place on the bench here today. So Frankfurt with a throw deep in DC United's half now. Bakirsu making his first start of the competition. I don't think that was what he meant to do with the throw. Got caught up in the air there, but Bakirsu now on the ball and trying to overlap, but it's intercepted well. Good start by Villatoro at that right back position for DC United. He's done it again, intercepted it, playing it forward with Nyman. And somehow he's kept it in here. Back heel inside from Nyman. Goes begging as Ali Luna is able to intercept. And now the 6 has started Frankfurt up the other way. Villatoro just stepping over the ball, begging for a challenge. And he lured in the Frankfurt defender nicely and earned a foul for DC United to move forward. I mentioned DC United, their first 2 results for Eintracht Frankfurt. They got the group off to a wonderful start with a 3-0 win over Toronto FC. But just yesterday, fell 3-1 to River Plate, which leads them needing some help, as I mentioned, from Toronto in the game going on simultaneously. And now a foul given against Eintracht Frankfurt. Handball signals head referee Michael Radichuk. Three of the 4 semifinalists in this Champions Division have been determined. Flamengo, runaway group winners in Group B. Same with Atletico Paranense winning Group C. The 2 Brazilian clubs are joined by Pachuca, who won a wide-open Group D just moments ago, which leaves just 1 spot in the semifinals. Here's Nyman. Floating a ball into the area. It's headed away. But Martinez will give Nyman a second attempt. And United elect to go all the way back to the keeper. The wind really picked up right as the keeper was looking forward. And a slip in the back line allows Frankfurt to keep possession. But a pass out to Janis Vasilov. He's unable to control it. It's out of play. And DC United can go again. Of course, DC United, well known for their history in MLS of being able to produce players the likes of Andy Nahar and Bill Hamid. But after a bit of a dry spell on that end, they once again are creating some really talented youth prospects, including the likes of Chris Durkin and Jalen Robinson, who are in the first team. And I know DC United fans are really excited about the prospects of those two players. And of course, also excited about the opening of a new stadium. Perhaps those two players will play a huge role in the games that DC United will play there in the near future. And of course, plenty of these players will be looking to those guys as an example as they try and force their way into the plans of the first team. Just got a score update from the other game in this group. We'll get to that in a second as Moses Nyman again dribbling past defenders in midfield. He started the game brightly. The number 44 in the middle for DC United. But that score update is one that Eintracht Frankfurt fans will love to hear. It's 1-0 Toronto getting an early goal against River Plate, and that has busted this group wide open. Eintracht Frankfurt, again, they need Toronto to win, and then they themselves would have to win this game. It's an easy one for the big center half, Omarui Irorere. But look at Nelson Martinez defending really well to break up that counterattack, and DC United can control possession again. They've had the majority of the ball in this one in the opening 12 minutes or so. Nyman was trying to send Brennan Conger forward. What a turn in midfield from Moses Nyman. He's looked bright in the early stages here. A big reason for why DC United has had the lion's share of possession so far. It's just a miscommunication between a couple of DC United players and a quick throw, and Frankfurt trying to steam up the other end, but it's good defensive work from Justice Akinlosotu, who initially was part of that miscommunication but recovered really well on the quick throw attempted by Eintracht Frankfurt. There's a lovely diagonal sprayed over to the left-hand side for Griffin Yao. Excuse me, that was Michael Gaines making gains up the left-hand side from his left back position. Here's Griffin Yao now trying to get in behind and offside. The number 50 for DC United, just straying past the Eintracht Frankfurt back line. So a boost for the Germans as River Plate trail 1-0 to Toronto FC in the early stages. And so if Frankfurt can find a goal and that result holds, it'll be up for grabs here in Group A in the Champions Division. DC United so far having most of the ball. The one real chance of the game also falling to DC United in the early stages. They would love to play spoilers here against Eintracht Frankfurt. There's a good run forward from Gabriel Segal. He's looking inside, and on the volley, on the half volley there, flashes past the post from Griffin Yao, but what a nice attack there from DC United. Started by Yao. He saw the run of Gabriel Segal into the channel. Returned. The return pass inside was deflected. Oh, here's an interception. Yunus Hilda has taken it off the toe of DC United back line, and Frankfurt player moving forward. Tried a little chip pass through the defense. Well defended. Again, good recovery there from DC United, who have controlled the game for the most part, but two scary moments from turnovers in midfield that they managed to snuff out with good recovery defensively. Just hacked clear there, and it's fallen to Nyman in midfield. Good toe on it from Segal. Now he's looking to exchange a 1-2 with Nyman. Lovely sprayed pass with the outside of his boot. And Yao with a nice step over and a great cross into the center. Still alive. Somehow blocked away. Still in, off the chest. Good work there from Villatoro to keep it in play. Looking for Brennan Conger, and again, a good-looking attack from DC United, certainly on the front foot in this game. Wonderfully worked possession there, and between the likes of Nyman and Yao, they carve out an excellent chance. The cutback right across the penalty spot for Brennan Conger, who was running onto it, but a huge block in the end from the Eintracht Frankfurt back line to keep Max Hinke from having to make a save and to keep this game scoreless. So we're just past 16 minutes played. Oostenrijker looking for Yunus Hida. And now ball straight down the middle. He's onside, tips it. Tried to tip it past the goalkeeper, but Max Hinke with the most important touch of the game. It was a through ball straight down the gut. The Eintracht Frankfurt defense. Wonderful run by Gabriel Segal. As he tried to touch it around the keeper, the number one for Eintracht Frankfurt timed his challenge to perfection, got a hand to it, and what a crucial hand it was. DC United just inches away from going ahead there. And they have been the more dangerous team by far. In the opening stages here, the last group game for Group A in the Champions Division. I'm trying to go through the legs of Luca Leonard. Well defended by the young German. United with just about every one of their outfield players in the attacking half. Offside there as Griffin Yao had just strayed into an offside position. 0-0 here as we approach the 20th minute. Once again, a reminder in the GA Cup that halves are 35 minutes long. Each team is allowed 5 substitutions with no re-entry. And I expect us to see a multitude of substitutions in this game. As I've mentioned before, both these teams played just yesterday, just over 24 hours ago. Remains to be seen if any of these kids will have tired legs from the quick turnarounds. Matches were scheduled for tomorrow, but looks like a pretty nasty thunderstorm coming through the Dallas area. Here's a good switch of play, and Griffin Yao has done well to get it to his left back partner. Seen some good attacking down the left flank for DC United so far, and just there Michael Gaines was able to stay onside the left back. His cross intercepted. DC United, however, again with possession, and they have kept it really well in this first half. Boy, Villatoro's been impressive in the early stages from his right back position. This time, Martinez has his pass intercepted by Oostreicher, and then Oostreicher is fouled by Moses Nyman. Fritz Oostreicher and his center half partner Omarui Irorere have started all 3 games for Eintracht Frankfurt. It's a nice luxury to have for the Adler, the Eagles, and my horrible pronunciation of German just now. Yao, he's looked bright. He's taking the ball off the toe and just couldn't get it into the feet of Moses Nyman, who wanted it in front of him, but it's still with DC United and Brennan Conger. Out to Villatoro, who touched it away from the defender, and the ball went out of play, but it's still a foul against Hoyasin Bakirsu, who tried to plead to the referee that the ball was going out of play the whole time, but he still did catch Jack Elmer Villatoro. So it's a free kick opportunity against the wind for DC United. Nyman floats in a ball. Curvature just brought it behind DC United attack, and now Hida does well initially, and trying to flip it up over to himself. It's a gather for Dane Jacquemin. As I mentioned, he's started both games for DC United in between the sticks. And Moses Nyman with the classic attacking foul, where the ball just goes a little too far for the dribbler and trying to get a toe on it, overstepping there, and just as Irorere stepped in to draw the foul. So a bit of a talking to here with Moses Nyman from the referee. So he just left a foot in there, and the stark height difference between Moses Nyman and Irorere. Here is the big center half for Eintracht Frankfurt. He works his way around a defender and finds the right back in plenty of space. Here's a cross to the back post that's just overhit, looking for the run of Joshua Frules. And trickles out of play for a goal kick to DC United. Just over 10 minutes to go here in this first half. Still scoreless. DC United having better from the run of play, but still yet to really test the goalkeeper, as Eintracht Frankfurt has done a good job of blocking every opportunity in the area. Here's Max Hinke, who started the first game, the 3-0 win over Toronto, but was replaced by Alex Steuben in the second game in the loss. So he'll be looking to keep his 100% clean sheet record, the #1 for Eintracht Frankfurt. Here is an attempt that was deflected, actually, and so as Jacquemin tried to run over and keep it from going out of play, he was unable to do so. So from nothing here, it's a corner for Eintracht Frankfurt. Frankfurt with the wind in this first half. Haven't really created much on the attacking end in the opening 25 minutes. It's a corner taken quickly and shortly. And now into the near post. There's Segal doing his defensive duties, the forward tracking back. And Yao just a little too heavy in his first touch, but out of play, and a chance for the DC United defense to reset. Combination play along the near side, and another foul against Yunus Hida. It's a big chance for Yunus Hida, who came out as a sub in the first 2 games for Eintracht Frankfurt, but that didn't limit his impact, as he has a goal and an assist. For the Germans. And it's that production that has allowed him to earn a starting spot in this game. And a foul here again against Yunus Hida, who's just talking about having earned his way into the starting lineup. I think he might earn his way into the referee's pocketbook here. Now it's one final warning from the referee. Hida's been involved in quite a few fouls in the early stages, and I believe the next one will see him enter head referee Michael Radchuk's pocketbook. So he'll have to tread carefully here for the remainder of this game, Yunus Hida. Ball over the top, looking for the run of Segal, and he's fouled. Did well to try and take that off the shoulder. And the quick restart from Griffin Yao, who tried to catch the Eintracht Frankfurt defense sleeping, but he had just strayed about a yard or so in the wrong direction. It's offside from the free kick. And so a really good opportunity for DC United goes begging. Another score update from the other game here in Group A. We'll get to that in a second as this ball travels all the way down the field. Wind aided there from the keeper, and Dane Jacquemin, who has had little to do so far in this game, still alert on his back line and able to come forward and beat the on-rushing Frankfurt player to the ball. And as I mentioned, a goal in the other game in Group A in the Champions Division, River Plate has equalized. So it's 1-1 between River and Toronto FC. Joshua Fruhls touching it forward. Good tackle in midfield. And now Nyman looking for Villatoro. Lovely skill to get past his defender. He's been good, Jack Elmer Villatoro. And Nyman just helping him out there, actually reaching in to take it away. Hida comes from behind Nyman and steals it off his feet. So Frankfurt, a chance to move some bodies forward. Lovely spin on the ball. And now trying to find the head of Hida. It's the ball pumped forward by Ustreicher. Just a little too tall for the striker for the Germans. He heads it out of play. So 1-1 in the other game. Not the score that Eintracht Frankfurt would like to hear, as that means River Plate will go through as it stands with 7 points from their 3 games. Eintracht Frankfurt need to worry about getting on the score sheet here in the first place if they're to have any chance of advancing to the semifinals. Villatoro again dueling with Bakirsu. Good run from Conger. He's found himself in plenty of space, standing it up to the edge of the area. Good backtracking from the number 6, Ali Luna. And a step on the ball, but a fortuitous one as Joshua Fruhls spins in midfield. Center back way out of position here, and now DC United with the 2-on-2 streaming forward into the feet of Griffin Yao. Edge of the penalty area. A little sidestep from Yao. Gets past the defender. Trying to work space for a shot, and he's hit it on the volley off the crossbar. Nyman's offside. What a hit from Griffin Yao. Oh, so close from opening the scoring for DC United in this tournament. Take another look here. His first shot was blocked, but he stayed alert. And on the volley, unleashes a venomous strike off the crossbar. Just inches away from scoring there, Griffin Yao. It's an excellent hit. So DC United so close to opening the scoring in this one. As I mentioned, still looking for their first goal in the tournament as well. And boy, that strike, you might argue, it's one worthy of opening the scoring for this DC United team. Been in every single game, but just can't manage to find the back of the net so far in this competition. Segal's been active in the early stages here. He's one of 4 players, including the goalkeeper, that have started all 3 games for DC United. So one of 3 outfield players. Walks away gingerly from drawing that foul. And DC United, again, controlling possession here, but commentators curse. It's a slack back pass from Akin Lesotho. He comes over and makes amends, holds his hand up as he plays it out of bounds. Here he is again. Akin Lesotho clearing from a dangerous position. It's opened up for a strike. Well blocked because that thing was traveling. Maddox Reese stepping in the way of Irarere's shot there. Big center half striding forward. Found a pocket of space that he thought he could get his shot away, but that space closed down by Reese for the DC United backline. Here's the number 6, Luna, trying to dribble through DC United defense, but it's well marshaled in the end. Looked like Brian Caillou able to track the run of his opposite midfielder. And now Caillou will get on the ball. Into the feet of Segal, who draws another foul. He's done that a few times in this first half, Gabriel Segal. And DC United can restart and push up the field. Frankfurt, again, they've got quite a high line. There's a little bit too much dribbling in the back there. And now Frankfurt just with a chance to get forward. But Moses Nyman was alert to the danger and tracked back to help his team recover. Confusion here as referee didn't like where that throw was taken from, so Bakirsu will retake. Cross floated into the back post, headed away by Caillou. And here's some instructions from the bench there to Caillou that if he's hurt, he needs to stay down, and it looks like he will be attended to by the trainer here, Brian Caillou. As I mentioned, several teams bring quite a few underage players, and Caillou's one of them. He's one of 4 underage players making the start for DC United today. Big number 48. see quite what happened to Brian Ko. But it does look like he will be forced to withdraw from this game. You hate to see that happen. Like I mentioned, these teams did play yesterday, but Ko was not on the field for DC United. Sadly, his day has ended, as he will be withdrawn for Uriel Zeitz. Zeitz started the game yesterday against Toronto. Came on as a sub in their first game against River Plate, and he'll make his second sub appearance of the tournament. Ball falls to Oostreicher, who lined up for a strike. Just hooked it to the left there, as it was inviting on the bounce for the center back. Just couldn't get his technique right there. Just pulled it out of play for a goal kick. So we're into stoppage time here in the first half. We may have a little bit of additional time there, as the injury to Ko took some time to be addressed. Max Reese with a strong challenge, and again, he's won 2 in a row. And that will be the last action of the first half. So we're still scoreless here in the last game of the group stages for both of these teams. DC United controlling play for the most of this first half, and that was the biggest chance of the game. What a huge play by the goalkeeper, Max Hinke, to deny DC United. There's the offside chance from Griffin Yao, and then this deflected off his own player, almost a 1-2 there, and just rattles the crossbar with the ferocious strike, ever so close to DC United's first goal of the tournament. But as it remains, the score tied at 0 between DC United and Eintracht Frankfurt. Stay with us. We'll be back for the second half here at the Generation Adidas Cup in Frisco, Texas.
Good job, Carter. Thank you.
yellow and black. Hey, my viewfinder's a little dark. I can't see anything. You can't get it to change that. They got all their own equipment, little white. Yeah, I forgot. First half, my tripod was gripped. Sorry.
Genau so weiter. Go.
Got the factory. That makes complete sense.
Yes, Graham. Come on here.
How that bogan tripod would be a bit of a challenge.
Zeig mal was an in der Mitte, du kannst doch nicht so außen stehen. Komm her.
Looks like it's going out now. The sun goes down.
course, Eintracht Frankfurt currently in 4th place in the Bundesliga. On a roll, first team led by Niko Kovac. Of course, the brother of Robert Kovac, but Niko in his own right, known for his coaching acumen, as he has the first team up to 4th place in the Champions League spots in the Bundesliga as it stands. And Eintracht Frankfurt do have a decent history of producing players as well. It's a strong run from Luna. Ali Luna there, just avoiding the challenge of Michael Gaines, and it's a foul against Gaines as dove in for the ball, just missed it. Foul earned by Luna. And here's a good opportunity for the Eagles. Yunus Hida will stand over this one. Looks like he'll look to take it with his left foot. Number 16 for Eintracht with a goal and an assist to his name in the tournament so far. He'll be looking for a good delivery here. Strikes it on goal. Easy enough for Jacquemin, who reaches down to his right and catches that one. So DC United can again build out of the back. Nelson Martinez playing it over to Reese. Gaines back pass, just moving Reese back into his own area. Again, still everything to play for in this Group A in the Champions Division. It's 1-1 in the other game. Eintracht Frankfurt need a goal from Toronto and a goal themselves. There's a dangerous lunge by Ali Luna. The substitute for DC United, Uriel Zeitz, who had to come in for the injured Brian Kao. He's won the foul there. Now he's looking for a big diagonal. He's just about picked out Villatoro as well. Good first touch from the right back. Or was it just a little too much on that touch? Trickles out of play, out for a goal kick to Eintracht Frankfurt. Like I said, they're known as Die Adler, also known as Nanushka Diva, which means Moody Diva. It's one of the better nicknames in world soccer that I've heard. Evidently stems from a stretch of time when Eintracht Frankfurt would beat the big clubs in Germany, but then lose to teams they thought they maybe shouldn't lose to. Hence the nickname Moody Diva from their fans. It's a good cross in on the left foot from Yunus Hida, but again, Dane Jacquemin is there. And now striding forward, Villatoro finds a slip pass into the center, and Nyman tried to touch it around a defender. What an important intervention that was from Irarere. So again, DC United springs something forward through the goalkeeper. And here's United again in possession. Still searching for their first goal, DC United, in this tournament. And their first point as well. Of course, if the game ends in a draw, it will move on to penalties. And there is a professional foul for Nelson Martinez as he tugged back the attacker. Leandro Weingartner, the captain for Eintracht Frankfurt this evening. Pretty cynical from the number 10 for DC United, and an easy one for the referee. It's the first yellow card of today's match. Perhaps he picked up the near side assistant, keeping an eye on the battle between Yunus Hida and Maddox Reese. That was Weingartner looking for a little back heel flick, didn't come off, and it's a ball to chase for Gabriel Segal. Fritz Oostreicher didn't take too kindly to the last second challenge there from Segal, and the referee has to come over and talk to the two players. And now it'll be a substitution for Eintracht Frankfurt. Perhaps a substitution? Okay, yes, it will be. As it's the number 7, David Seibert, coming in for Eintracht Frankfurt. He replaces Florian Zorn. It's a big substitution for the Germans, as I mentioned. Seibert leading Eintracht Frankfurt with 2 goals. He scored in both games against Toronto and River Plate, as he started both of those matches, and has an assist to his name as well. So he's been the main offensive cog in this Eintracht Frankfurt attack. But right now he has to do some defending. And it's well defended by Weingartner. Oh, excuse me, that was Seibert, who had just come into the game. Gets on the ball and immediately looks forward. Good early sign from the substitute for Die Adler. Ball bouncing around in midfield, no one really able to come up with possession there, but Moses Nyman does a good job of slowing it down. And DC United are the ones on the ball. Nelson Martinez, who looks to be continuing his impressive passing resume from the first game. And now some quick feet from Amir Vircic, and a hack at the legs of Michael Gaines there, as the substitute for Frankfurt perhaps upset at himself for too heavy a touch. He's played it out of bounds, and you could hear the referee say he was never going to get to that. He needs to be careful moving forward. Amir Vircic. He's a 2002 born as well. One of the young players on display for Eintracht Frankfurt in this tournament. There's a big boot downfield. It's kept in nicely by Gabriel Segal, and that's going to earn DC United a throw. The tireless effort of the front man for DC United. He has been everywhere in this game, drawing fouls, earning throws as well, as he's done just now. DC United ready to bring on a sub, but first they have this attack coming through, and Moses Nyman into the area on his left foot. Big save from the goalkeeper. He spread well. Almost a Peter Schmeichel Starman there from Max Hinke.
Here it is.
Excellent save, but what a well-worked attack by DC United again. So close to opening the scoring here. It was Nyman and Zeitz combining. Here's the ensuing corner kick. Defended away at the near post. And Martinez just trying to avoid a counterattack there for the Germans. He plays it forward. It's offside against Nyman, but again, a really good opportunity for DC United, only to be foiled by the goalkeeper Max Hinke.
Number 9 checks in.
And so the stoppage of play will allow for a change for DC United up top, as Kyle Davis, who started against River Plate in their first game, did not feature in their loss yesterday to Toronto FC. He replaces Gabriel Segal, who certainly worked tirelessly throughout his appearance in today's game. There's the ball inside for Luca Leonard. Uth. And Villatoro just spinning around the defenders and drawing a foul to relieve pressure for DC United. Martinez. Villatoro still feeling his back after that one. Martinez had to go back to his center back partner. Loose touch there from Michael Gaines allowed a defender in, but it's out of play still with DC United. Nyman losing out. Now Seibert trying to carve out some space for a shot. Hito is looking for the back post, looking for Weingartner. It's defended really well, and now Villatoro show his offensive prowess. His pass intercepted though. Moody Lady streams forward. Here's a great ball into the center. And Hida right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Tried to go with his left foot. Maybe better serve going with his right. It's alive though. Edge of the area. Left-footed strike. Well over the crossbar from Luca Leonard. Ut. That was perhaps the best chance of the game for Eintracht Frankfurt. Looked like it was Weingartner there charging down the left-hand side. Put in a really nice cross at the edge of the 6. And Yunus Hida just whiffed on the opportunity. So it remains scoreless here between DC United and Eintracht Frankfurt. Trying to slip pass between the center backs there did Joshua Fruhls. DC United was on top of that the entire time. Never looked like Hida was going to get to that ball. So again, 3 of the 4 semifinalists in the Champions Division have been decided. Atletico Paranense, winners of Group C. They will play Pachuca, the winners of Group D, on Thursday. And then Flamengo, Group B winners, await the winner of this group, Group A, which currently would be River Plate as they lead, or excuse me, they're tied 1-1 with Toronto FC. That draw would be enough to get River through to the semifinals as they try and defend once again the title here at the Generation Adidas Cup. 3-time defending champions River Plate, currently in first place in this group. Here's a substitution. Nils Oriwal coming on for Eintracht Frankfurt. He started the first 2 games for Diadler. He's listed as a right back, but looks like he has gone to slot in attack, as I believe it was number 10, Fruhls, who came off confirmation on that substitution. Fruhls off and Oriwal on. He's listed as a right back, as I said, but it looks like he will slot into that left wing position in this 4-3-3 for the Moody Divas. I mentioned Eintracht Frankfurt, also the decent track record of producing young talent. Marco Marin being one of the more modern players that spent some of his youth career for Eintracht Frankfurt, but perhaps more notably, current manager for Die Mannschaft, Jürgi Löw, spending part of his youth in Frankfurt with the Eagles, who were founded 119 years ago this month. So they'll be celebrating their 120th anniversary next season. 1899. Eintracht Frankfurt founded. They're one of the original 16 teams in the current edition of the Bundesliga, which was founded in 1963. Plenty of history with Eintracht Frankfurt, looking to storm their way into Europe. Certainly wouldn't have been favored to be one of the Bundesliga clubs in the Champions League. Currently holding on to that 4th position. Here's Moses Nyman. Just a little too loose with that pass in midfield, and that's meant for a decent attack forward. First with the feet. First with the hands, then with the feet, and now Jakomin able to finally pounce on the ball. It was loose for some time in the area, and a couple of DC United players, including the goalkeeper, feeling that one. Nelson Martinez looks to still be in pain on the turf. Take another look at that one. There's a scramble in the area. A dangerous ball played through by David Seibert. As, again, DC United, who have controlled the game for the most part, almost creators of their own downfall. Loose pass in midfield leads to the chance for Frankfurt. And you can see why David Seibert has led this team through the first 2 games. There's a funny moment along the sidelines just now. You might have seen some of the players on the field laughing at it as a water bottle was tossed back to the DC United bench, and perhaps tossed back with a little too much venom. Here comes Kyle Davis trying to force his way into the area. And it's out for a corner. First real action of the game for Kyle Davis. Just about 15 minutes or so left to play in this second half. Can one of these teams find a goal? Or will we head to a penalty kick shootout? It's a corner kick for Moses Nyman. In swinger to the far post. It's a decent delivery. Requires a touch from the Eintracht Frankfurt defense. So it'll be a corner on the far side now. Does it look like Bakirsu, the left back, on the back stick, able to get the touch in front of the DC United attacker. And now Nyman will make the long trot from near side to far side corner. See if he can replicate that wonderful delivery from his last attempt. This one, of course, on his right foot, will be an outswinger. Good delivery. Davis is there. And again, it's kept out by the goalkeeper. Looked like Davis rose highest to head that one. And here's a swift counterattack started by Eintracht Frankfurt. Streaming into the area. Kick save. Dane Jakomin keeps the score tied at zeros, as it was a good chance on the corner for DC United on one end, and then a swift counterattack by Eintracht Frankfurt up the other. Required excellent goalkeeping work from Dane Jakomin. See if the game starts to open up a little bit here. Perhaps some tired legs, as well as the Germans knowing they need to win this game if they have any shot at moving forward to the semifinals. They would need some help as well. But first things first, they need to get a goal. A win in a penalty shootout would not be good enough for Eintracht Frankfurt to move through. There's a foul along the far side against DC United. It'll be a Frankfurt free kick. Still 1-1 between River Plate and Toronto FC, and a important to note that the first tiebreaker after wins is head-to-head, which means Toronto FC, despite the inferior goal difference, if they can find a goal against River Plate in the second half, and if Eintracht Frankfurt do not win this game, that would see the Canadians through to the semifinals. Despite losing their first game to Eintracht Frankfurt 3-0. So still so much to play for in this Group A. Here's Weingartner poking it through. Flick return from Hida. And look at the dismay on the coaching staff's faces there, as he's too clever for his own good. Plenty of space and time and body streaming forward for the Germans. But Hida just a little too clever on that flick, but he's done a nice job of holding play. His ball through, however, it was for an offside teammate, Nils Oryewal. Just about shading past the defensive back line. Happened right in front of me, so credit to the AR. Got that one spot on. Ball pumped forward. Again, you can see the wind has picked up a little bit in this second half. Certainly not like it was on match day 1, where it was the main factor in most of the games. There's another back heel. Wonderful challenge by Reese. Under pressure from Seibert. He's managed to clear the DC United lines. And that's intercepted, and DC United looks to go forward, but a big leg outstretched by Irarere. And now, again, space for Seibert to run into. He's found a ball, edge of the area. On the half volley, gets a deflection. And on the crossbar and over. Boy, that ball hung up in midair. You weren't sure if it was going to fall down under the crossbar. In the end, it does not. As we see here, it takes a deflection, and a crucial one at that, from Justice Akinlasofu. Akinlasofu on the full stretch there, blocking that shot. What a crucial intervention. And another DC United substitution here, as Everson Amaya checks in. He will replace 47 Brennan Conger. So Amaya, who started the last game against Toronto, will come in just under 10 minutes to play here to make an impact. Meanwhile, off your screen here, the center back, Omarui Irarere, is being seen to by the trainers for Eintracht Frankfurt. So Frankfurt down a man at the moment. They'll take this corner kick. Up towards the 6, and the sub comes on Amaya. He's done really well there to head clear. So he's made an impact right off the bench. And meanwhile, Griffin Yao draws the foul, and DC United can push forward. Time running out here for one of these teams to find a winner. Want to remind you of our coverage of the semifinals from both divisions on Thursday. Get to that in just a second, as Amaya streaking forward finds a good ball into the area. Davis has his shot blocked away on the turn. And now one-on-one battle. And boy, that is a huge offside call, as Yunus Hida could see the whole line. They couldn't stay onside. I think he'll argue that the ball took too long to be played in his direction. But no matter, he was in acres of space on the right-hand side. And a big opportunity for Eintracht Frankfurt goes astray.
Other game's still 1-1.
Still 1-1 in the other match in this group. Kyle Davis into his feet. He's danced around a couple of Eintracht Frankfurt defenders. Lays it off to Amaya in the area. Amaya just trying to touch it around. A couple of hesitation moves. And his last touch, too heavy. It drifts out of play. Kyle Davis doing so well to spark that attack into life. But as I was getting to, our coverage on Thursday of the semifinals from each division. This one stands up, and Seibert on the half turn. Just wide. Miscommunication there between goalie and back line. And it was almost a critical mistake for DC United. And David Seibert can't believe that he's missed that one. Goalie well off his line. That was a huge chance. As we take another look at, this was from earlier, the deflected strike off the crossbar. That was Eintracht Frankfurt's best chance before that one just moments ago. A miscommunication between the back line and the goalie for DC United. And Seibert, if there was anyone for that to fall to, it would be the leading scorer for Eintracht Frankfurt. Just couldn't make it tell. As I was saying, once again, interrupted by wonderful attacking play. On Thursday, the Premier Division semis at 1:15 and 3 o'clock. And then the Champions Division at 5:30 and 7:15. And this ball out of bounds will lead to another DC United substitution, make it a double substitution here. Checking out Michael Gaines and Griffin Yao. Checking in Augustus Sam and number 61, who is not in our roster, so we'll get you a name here in just a second. But a double sub for DC United, and you may have heard a roar from the other field as River Plate has picked up a last-minute goal, and they will be certainly now moving forward to the semifinals. They lead 2-1 in the final stages against Toronto FC. Here comes Yunus Hida. Carves out some nice space onto his right foot, and it's a good strike and a decent save as well. This ball still in play. Hida onside. And it's an offensive foul for Yunus Hida, who is being told by the referee he used a bit of a forearm shiver there. Just want to get back to the substitute, number 61 for DC United. It's Brendan Clark. My apologies to Mr. Clark. So I had him listed under another number on my notes, but he has played in both games so far, including starting the last match for DC United against Toronto FC. Came on as a sub in the first one. Here he is trying to get a touch to Nyman. He does, and now Clark with space for a cross. That space closed down and cross blocked away. Just waited a little too long there, did Clark. And Eintracht Frankfurt is not happy, as they thought they had an advantage there. It's whistled back for a foul. Seibert yelling at the referee, and now excuse me, I misread that situation. The yellow card is for the man we're just talking about, Brendan Clark, for a cynical pullback. He's been in the game just a matter of minutes, and he will go into the referee's notebook. Frankfurt wanted an advantage there, but none was given. Instead, it's the yellow card. And now the referee, Michael Radchuk, not a fan of where that ball was placed. Irerere stands it back a few paces and wafts one up to the feet of Seibert. Amaya and Clark do well to combine and get that one away for DC United. There's a scrum in midfield, and Moses Nyman, oh, he's like a water bug in midfield, dipping and diving past several Eintracht Frankfurt players, but in the end he has it stolen away. Now Seibert, well tackled away. Brendan Clark stands him up. And Clark wanted to push in the back, but play on, says the referee. No, he doesn't. It's actually an excellent job by the referee there. First to play advantage, but Kyle Davis was offside. And so he'll pull it back for the foul that Brendan Clark was looking for, as he tackled it away from David Seibert, and then Seibert tugged him back. So DC United with the wins at their back as we move into stoppage time here, searching for their first goal of the tournament. If they find one here, Clark stands one up to the back post. Decent delivery. A collision in the area. That's a heavy collision between striker and goalie. You have to say no malice in that one, as Uriel Zeitz had eyes on the ball. And as Max Hinka came off his line, the two collided with some force. You hope both of them are okay, as we're in to stoppage time already here.
Here's that hit.
Look at the replay here. Eyes for the ball there from Uriel Zeitz. And a sore one for both those players. Max Hinka, the goalie, really
Toronto's in stoppage time and they just scored.
taking a
2-2.
sore one there. Well, as we allow the trainers to look at both players on the field in this one, it's another score update from the other one, and perhaps a boost for Eintracht Frankfurt, as Toronto FC have scored in stoppage time to tie the score at 2 apiece in the other game in Group A. But they would need another goal still to change the outcome of River Plate moving forward to the semifinals. So I'm sure River Plate will use every ounce of their caginess in the final seconds of that one to try and see the result out, a draw enough for the Argentines to move through. And the chance to join the 2 Brazilian teams, the 1 Mexican team in the semifinals in this Champions Division. But if Toronto can score late on, they will go through. Meanwhile, Frankfurt with a restart from that foul and the collision. Looks like both players are okay, which is good to see. So that really was a heavy collision in the area.
Going to PKs in the other game.
Strength from Yunus Hida. And now Hida on the ball. Oh, quick feet from Hida. He's looking for space for a cross. It's blocked away, out for a corner kick. And do have confirmation that it is full-time 2-2 in the other game, which means River Plate will go through. Still a point to be decided in the penalty kick shootout, but River Plate will move on to play Flamengo in the semifinals of the Champions Division. This game, still the result in the balance. Eintracht Frankfurt with the late corner. In-swinger from the left-hand side. Hida tried to get ahead to it. And that is the last kick of the game. 0-0, the final here between DC United and Eintracht Frankfurt. So we will move to a penalty kick shootout in Frisco, Texas as well. So DC United earned their first point of the competition in a well-fought match between these two teams. Neither team able to break the deadlock. We saw 2 strikes off the crossbar, 1 from either team. Well, I should say Eintracht Frankfurt had 2 themselves, so 3 off the crossbar. But neither team could find the back of the net in regulation, which means we will head to a penalty kick shootout. And in this competition, it's hockey-style shootout, which means an extra point will be awarded in the group standings to whoever comes away victorious. But as it stands, River Plate moved through with 7 points. Eintracht Frankfurt now on 4 points, along with Toronto FC. DC United get their first point of the competition, and one up for grabs here, and it will matter as far as the teams that each of these teams will go on and face from here on out, as Eintracht Frankfurt and Toronto FC are level on points, which means through head-to-head, if Eintracht Frankfurt win this penalty kick shootout, they will know they have assured themselves second place in the group. But should they lose, it opens the door for Toronto FC to jump them into second. DC United, meanwhile, will be looking for something to build on, as a penalty kick shootout over Eintracht Frankfurt would give them the victory in the Battle of the Eagles. The Great Eagle Rivalry, as I think they're calling it. So which Eagle will soar highest here in Frisco, Texas? Teams ambling their way out to the center stripe, be taking on the side with the wind for the penalty kick takers, so they'll have to be careful here to keep these shots down, as the wind is whipping from right to left on your screen. DC United go to a knee along the center circle. And it looks like DC United will be the first to go. Moses Nyman, the youngster, one of the younger players in this competition, strides forward to face Max Hinka, the number 1 in all green for Eintracht Frankfurt, in goal. Nyman places it down, waits for the whistle. Top corner, top penalty. Moses Nyman buries it. And it's 1-0 DC United in the penalty kick shootout. Nothing the goalie can do about that one. It's a fantastic strike from the youngster. And all the pressure of being the first shooter is given to the youngest player on the team for DC United, and he comes through. So now it's Luca Leonard, who started all 3 games for Eintracht Frankfurt. And DC United thought they had it saved. Goalie guesses the right way, but it's, in the end, an excellent penalty from Ut, as he had the keeper going the way he took it, but there's too much in the way of precision there from Ut as he puts it in the side netting. Keeper got a touch, did Dane Jacquemin, but not enough. Now the second taker, the right back, Jack Elmer Villatoro. Quick run up and slots it home expertly. Sent the keeper the wrong way, buried it in the corner. Wonderful penalty from the right back for DC United, and they again have the lead here. 2-1 to DC United, with the response from the captain to follow. Leandro Weingartner. Hesitation, and he scores it. The hesitation just freezing the goalkeeper. And it's a wonderful penalty from Weingartner. The captain has leveled the score at 2 apiece after 2 rounds. So now it will be the first player in the penalty shootout who did not start the game. The substitute, Everson Amaya. Number 11 taking control. It's the third shooter for DC United. Here's the whistle. And buries it in the corner. A fist pump from Amaya. As 3 penalties taken, 3 scored expertly by DC United. And again, they push ahead into the lead, being the first shooters. So 3-2, DC United. And Ali Luna, number 6. In his first start of the competition. Goes the distance. And now has the responsibility of taking a penalty for Eintracht Frankfurt. Slow run up and a save! Full stretch to the left-hand side. Dane Jacobin with a huge save, and that gives the advantage to DC United. Full extension down to his left. Pushes it past the post. And now Kyle Davis has a chance to put DC United in pole position here. The substitute, number 9. Started against River Plate. Came on as a sub in the second half in this one. Davis. And he has it saved and caught by Max Hinka. To his left. So what a response from the German goalkeeper, matching his American counterpart with a diving save to his left-hand side. So that means Yunus Hida, who does have a goal and an assist in this competition, now has the chance to level the score in the penalty shootout. The lefty did take a few set pieces throughout the course of the match as well. It's a straight run on. Now he'll amble over to the right. And a one-handed save! Wonderful save! Dane Jacobin. Sprawling to his right with a strong hand. Tips it around the post. And it's a chance for Brendan Clark to win the penalty kick shootout for DC United. So DC United pick up their first point of the tournament with the draw in regulation. Can they get another by winning the penalty kick shootout? Brendan Clark, the second half sub, strides forward and blasts it home. It's a penalty kick shootout win for DC United. They emerge victorious here in the Battle of the Eagles. And DC United get the extra point in the penalty kick shootout. And some momentum as they'll head on to their last 2 games of the tournament. They performed well, DC United, throughout this tournament. Still yet to open the scoring. As a yellow card is issued in the aftermath for something happening in the handshake line, but it'll be of no matter to DC United as they come away with a penalty kick shootout and another point. So Eintracht Frankfurt unable to get the point they needed. They'll rely on River Plate in the shootout to see where their future lies in this competition. Well, thank you for joining us in a wonderful last match day of the Champions Division here in the 2018 Generation Adidas Cup. Thanks to the crew for a wonderful show. I'm Carter Augustine. Remind you once again to join us on Thursday as we stream the semifinals of this competition, the Premier Division at 1:15 and 3 o'clock Central, and the Champions Division at 5:30 and 7:15. Make sure you tune in, as those will be from Toyota Stadium here in Frisco, Texas. So once again, final score here, DC United win the penalty kick shootout. They're victorious over Eintracht Frankfurt in the last match day of the group stages of the 2018 Generation Adidas Cup.
Thank you, Carter. Good job.
Thanks, guys.